Imagine floating in the silent vacuum of space, and then you remove your helmet. There's no dramatic explosion, no instant freezing. Instead, the air in your lungs rushes out violently. If you try to hold your breath, your lungs could tear apart. Within seconds, oxygen disappears from your bloodstream. Your vision blurs, your thoughts slow. You lose consciousness in about 10 seconds. The vacuum does something even stranger. The moisture on your tongue and in your eyes begins to boil. Not from heat, but from the sudden drop in pressure. Your body swells slightly as gases expand beneath your skin. But you don't burst. Your skin is stronger than that. You wouldn't freeze instantly either. Space is cold, but heat escapes slowly without air. After 30 seconds, your brain begins to suffer irreversible damage. After 60 to 90 seconds, survival is almost impossible. No sound, no warning, just silence. Imagine stepping outside, and there's no air to breathe, no sky to shield you, Earth without an atmosphere. First, life as we know it would vanish instantly. Without air, humans, animals, and plants couldn't survive. There'd be no oxygen, no carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. The sky would appear pitch black, even in the daytime, because there's no atmosphere to scatter sunlight. Sunlight would hit the surface directly, burning unfiltered. Temperatures would swing wildly, scorching hot under the sun, freezing cold in shadow. Without atmospheric pressure, liquids like water would boil away at room temperature. Oceans, lakes, and rivers would vaporize into space, leaving a dry, barren surface. The atmosphere also protects Earth from meteoroids. Without it, countless asteroids and debris would strike the surface directly, forming craters everywhere. Wind, weather, and clouds, gone. Rain, snow, and storms wouldn't exist. In short, Earth would look like a desolate, lifeless planet, a rocky desert under a black sky, exposed to the vacuum of space. Imagine the summit of the world suddenly giving way. If Mount Everest collapsed, it wouldn't just crumble quietly. It would trigger one of the largest landslides in history. First, billions of tons of rock and ice would crash down the slopes of the Himalayas. The force would generate massive avalanches racing at hundreds of kilometers per hour, devastating everything in their path. Base camps would vanish in seconds. The collapse would shake the region like a powerful earthquake, sending seismic waves across Nepal and Tibet. Glaciers would fracture, potentially triggering dangerous glacial lake outburst floods. Dust and debris would fill the valleys, temporarily blocking rivers and creating unstable natural dams. Downstream flooding could threaten communities for weeks or months. But here's the surprising part. Even if Everest lost its peak, the Himalayas would still rise. That's because the Himalayas are formed by the collision of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates, and that collision hasn't stopped. So while Everest might shrink, the mountain-building forces beneath it would continue pushing upward. Imagine waking up one morning, and every ocean on Earth is gone. The vast blue of the Pacific Ocean, the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, even the icy waters of the Arctic Ocean, vanished overnight. First, the seafloor would be exposed. Enormous underwater mountain ranges, trenches deeper than Mount Everest is tall, and canyons that have never seen sunlight. The Mariana Trench would become the deepest valley on the planet. But the real disaster? Climate collapse. Oceans absorb most of Earth's heat and produce over half of our oxygen through microscopic plankton. Without them, global temperatures would swing wildly, burning hot days, freezing nights. Rain would almost stop, rivers would dry up, agriculture would fail, marine life, gone. Coastal cities would sit thousands of meters above dry, salty wastelands. The air would grow thinner as oxygen levels slowly drop. Within years, Earth wouldn't look like the blue planet anymore. It would look more like Mars, dry, dusty, and barely alive. The oceans. Imagine a world where every volcano on Earth erupts at the same time. Billions of tons of molten lava would spew from Ring of Fire, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Fuji, and countless others across every continent. Mountains would glow red as rivers of lava cascade down their slopes. Ash clouds would rise miles into the atmosphere, darkening the sky globally. Sunlight would be blocked, causing temperatures to plummet, a volcanic winter. Crops would fail, and ecosystems would collapse. The air would become toxic, filled with carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and fine ash particles. Rivers and lakes could boil or become acidic. Massive earthquakes and pyroclastic flows would accompany eruptions, devastating nearby regions instantly. Oceans could even heat up locally, triggering massive tsunamis. The planet would be in chaos, fire, smoke, and destruction stretching across every continent. Life as we know it would struggle to survive. Humanity's technology and infrastructure would collapse under ash, lava, and earthquakes. Earth would temporarily become a hellish, fiery wasteland, the raw power of our planet unleashed all at once.